Meet the team that doesn't just talk about impact, they ignite it. Jim Morris and producer Rachel.
Yay! I need to add clapping to that, I think.
I love that.
I have one that's clapping, but I don't know if we can hear it. You ready? Tell me if you hear this. No?
I heard it.
You did? Okay, so I'd have to keep... I'll have to keep pressing it, I think. I don't know. I'm getting used to all the buttons.
I love it. Producer Rachel in the house, folks. Monday morning. Let's get it.
Like, whatever. Hi, happy Monday.
It was awesome because as I was listening to that intro just now, it says they don't talk about impact, they ignite it. And it just made me think about some conversations over the weekend in the community and some uncertainty that some members had and some anxiety, maybe you could call it, and how we can step up for those folks and we can guide them and we can give them the courage and the braveness that they need in those moments, right? You talked last week on our show about the valleys and the challenge of who you are in the valley. And we're all in the valley. Like that doesn't change for anybody and it doesn't go away, right? Life is the roller coaster, especially as a business owner, especially as someone trying to create something that's magical and impactful for the world. So I love that intro. Like we've heard it so many times, but I'm like, man, it just hits after this weekend with the community, just hits.
I know. I love it. I absolutely love it.
You had talked last week about a scenario where you changed the energy and you felt through your emotions. And I was thinking this morning about a situation that happened to me at the end of 2023. And it was really wild and weird. And I wanted to share it with everybody, if that's cool. Similar topic to last week, but I feel like it's really important. So
I want to hear it. I love these stories.
I worked for a corporate company from April of 2018 to March of 2020. So 2 years I worked for that company, a little under 2 years. And full-time corporate gig, all good. And then obviously I left in 2020. I built a real estate business. I restarted a consulting firm, have the event business, doing coaching, consulting as well, all the things. And in 2023, I remember we had the conference was a total cost of $240,000, and I only had $60,000 in revenue. So I was down $180K. We were 28 days from the event, and my energy was just so bad. It was so terrible, right? I was mad. I was talking shit about people. I was running my mouth, and it was all just internally. I couldn't handle the failure, right? I was failing. Like I need to make 180,000 in like 28 days to come out to just break even. And I remember we had a bill come up for the venue, right? The venue cost me $72,000. And it was the second payment, right? We were 30 days out. So I was already 2 days late. And it was it was 46,000. So I had to cough that up. I didn't have the money or the revenue. And I realized, okay, I'm not going to be able to make the mortgage. Like, dang.
That's the worst feeling too.
Dang.
Like, ugh. And then how do you tell your spouse that?
Yeah. Tough conversation. So we're at the dinner table, and finally, and you were talking about like on your podcast, that was your opportunity to feel the emotion and, to navigate through some of that hardship when you were down in the valley. And for me, it was at the dinner table with my wife. And the biggest release of me just feeling the emotion and just finally feeling into the stress and the anxiety was just being honest and real with someone who I could trust. And I really just didn't want to disappoint her. So when I let out that emotion and I moved through that negative energy, and there was tears at the table, believe me, there was tears. Like, well, I'm talking water flow tears, right? Like this isn't the drip drop out of the spigot here. This was like, what am I going to do? I let all that energy out. And I just felt this release of stress and just embodiment of negativity. And I woke up the next day and I was like, I feel a little bit lighter. I feel a little bit better. I feel like I can move forward, right? Like I have the support of my spouse. She's in this with me. Dang, what am I going to do about the mortgage still? Right? Like, all right, this is good. I talked it out. I felt it out. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna think about that. I'm gonna get on the phone. We're gonna make the calls. We're gonna sign up the people. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I opened the mail. So I remember going to a meeting. I end up talking to someone. They're like, yeah, send me the link. I'm coming to the conference. Can't wait. This is going to change my life. Let's go. Like pumped. So I'm coming off this great energy. I'm like, oh man, all right, we're getting back into it. And I get home and I remember I'm pulling up and I'm like, and I think about this, right? Like I'm pulling up in the driveway and I'm looking at the house that I can't afford this month. And in that moment, I'm just like, you gotta stay positive, stay positive. Remember, I'm just getting home from a meeting. So I go check the mail, grab the mail, walk in the house, sit down at the table, throw it on the kitchen table, grab a water, grab a drink, whatever I was doing, sit down, start opening the mail. I get a check in the mail for $804. I was short $800 on my mortgage that month. And that check was from the company that I worked for those little less than 2 years. Now, at this point, I left that company in 2020. It's 2023. This is 3 years later. And apparently I was part of a profit sharing something group. And I think they sold to the company or they brought in some private equity money. And basically I got an $804 check.
That's insane. That's insane. Oh my God. How good did that feel too? Like, oh, that's so cool. That is so cool.
Because I never, like that company hurt me mentally. It hurt me physically. That was the company where the drinking, the booze consumption went up because I was miserable. I lost a lot of inner respect for myself. This was the period of time where I just didn't really like who I was. I put on a ton of weight. Like when I 60 pounds weight, like I lost 54 pounds after I left that company. And that company really fucked me up. Like it did. And some of the people and some of the leadership and some of the, just all the things. And it hurt so many other people that I really like too. That I worked with as well. So when I think back of that hardship of that company and what it did to me, but also who it allowed me to become, it's funny because the next chapter of what I was doing was this big event. This was the kickoff to really diving in to help people and really creating impact. And this was the real big movement and change in my life to leave behind the opportunity and the crutch to go back to. Like this was me saying, I'm never going back. Like I'm going to create and build and I'm going for this. And yeah, I hit it big on the first company and then lost it all. And, the second company and I'm crushing it, but I'm and making a ton of money, but I'm miserable and I'm not happy. And, this really was the thing that allowed me to fall into my calling and my purpose. And when I addressed that emotion and I flipped my energy from that negative draining to that positive, like I felt it, I worked through it. I'm not completely healed, right? Like it's still stressful. I still have to show up. I still have to do the things. I still have to be me and I still have to perform. But I don't have that big heavy winter jacket on me anymore. And I just kind of have taken it off. And now all these beautiful things start to happen. That day after that $804 check, I literally remember being like, mobile deposit, because I need this instantly, like pay the fee or whatever for it to hit the account. I got an extra $4. So at this point I'm balling, right? Like pay the
Listen, 4 is better than 0. Like I'll take the 4.
And then I remember that day we sold a package for $5,000. Later that day, I brought in a speaker who paid, and we did a bunch of marketing for them and really helped them craft their message. And those two things that I just told you that I sold weren't even on the sales page. Like, I wasn't even thinking about helping a speaker with the stage, with the story, with the message, with the keynote, and with some of the marketing. And it just kind of came up in conversation. And it reflects back on all the marketing that I was doing, building the landing pages, setting up some of the keynote stuff. So it's just funny that all those things come to fruition in those moments once that energy transfer happens. And I think the challenge for today would just be, what do you need to feel through in order to get to the other side so you are able to receive and have that faith? And what's that negative energy that you just need to hit head on, right? And just like, I know that this is bad energy. I know that this is negative. This is draining me. I'm going to attack it and I'm going to feel through it.
Well, and I want to be clear, like, we're not talking about toxic positivity. Like, we're not being like, stay positive, it's fine. No, we're literally telling you, feel through the emotion, feel it. Don't like suck it down because it hurts you more. And we've talked about that, right? Like, the amount of time you've had an idea cycling in your head actually hurts you more than just like feeling through it and moving forward. Number one. Number two, sometimes a paycheck's not worth it. Like, if you're as miserable as Jim was, right, and literally hurting yourself because like alcohol can be poisonous to your body, right? Like, you're physically hurting yourself. Was that worth it? Was that paycheck and all that money worth it? Maybe probably not. And then another thing that you did, which I love, which is why I left radio for the opportunity to start my own business, is you took the leap, having faith the net will be there. Right? Where it's like, okay, I'm going to leave this paycheck. I'm going to leave this job, this job, because I know that I can impact more people if I create my own business and I create these events and I create this community. You have to sometimes just take that leap and know that the net will be there. It's those times where we're just like, I hate this, but I'm too scared to do this. So I'm going to stay and keep hurting myself instead of taking the leap and trusting that like this can happen. And then the other thing I want people to realize is when you got that check, right, where it was like, like, oh my God, this answers this problem. You stayed in that momentum of positive energy. You weren't just like, oh, but now I'm back to like, I owe the event company this much more money. So, right? Like, you stayed in that positive momentum. You didn't just, there goes my laundry. Yay, being a stay-at-home mom who also works from the house. Laundry. You stayed in that positive momentum instead of bringing it right back down to like, but I still owe this much money. What am I going to do for this? Right? So if you find yourself doing that, stop. Like, truly stop. Sit in that momentum of like, oh my God, this is amazing. What's next? Like, literally just ask, what's next? What can we do next? What like magical things can you bring to me next? And you did. You got those next 2 sales calls, right? Like, in packages you didn't even think to create. So I want people to stay in that magic, stay in that creation space as long as you can. And if something's just not working out for you, you can start taking steps to get out of that situation and then figuring out what's next, because hurting yourself physically with alcohol, putting on the weight, and in a job that literally is probably mentally torturing you, is that worth it? I don't know. You kind of have to think about that. That's for you to figure out. I just don't know that it's worth it sometimes.
You just had such a great recap on all those things, and you just hit on something so important that I totally skipped over. Wow. Well, yeah. I didn't even realize the fact of the momentum in that day. I didn't even realize that because I felt through that emotion, because I removed the energy drain and I started riding the high. Exactly. Yep. Because I started riding that, it allowed me to be in a space to create. It allowed me to be in a space to be unique and to think outside the box. Right. Like, and the deals that I did with those people and those sponsors came from a place of good energy. It came from a place of vibrating high. It came from a place of positivity that was real. Exactly what you said. Not the, hey, you can't have a positive and a negative emotion at the same time. So turn off the negative and put on the positive. Right. And I used to do that. And that was a lot of the time I would do it, but I would just ignore. I would just ignore the negative. And then it comes back and it comes back and it compounds when you don't want it to. If you
And
just
not only does
ignore
it compound, and you know this, it will physically hurt you. Like I've ended up in the hospital numerous times because I was just like, nope, I'm going to suck it down. We're not going to think about it. Everything is fine. I'm going to just keep going, like full steam ahead. And then all of a sudden you're sick, right? Because the universe, it starts with a little peck and then it's a little push. And then all of a sudden you're like, you're dead on your ass. Sorry. Like we're done. You need to deal with this. So pay attention, right? Take the cues, but take the time to also be grateful for the little wins, right? You were grateful for that check. And that was that positive momentum that suddenly you were riding that high and everything else fell into place. Don't stay down here, feel it out. And then as these little tiny cool things start to happen, or these fun things, these joyous things, these happy moments, ride that high for as long as you can and see the magic happen.
Boom. What a Monday. Let's go.
What a Monday. I know. I was like, what a Monday. Damn. Okay. Now I'm ready for this week. Thank you everybody for joining us. Again, if you want more of this, you can come to the Impact Effect community. Join us. We'd be happy to have you. It's not toxic positivity at all. If anything, it's just real honesty. But support too, right? Like not everybody has somebody they can go to. Consider us. We'd be happy to help you through it. Have a great Monday, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
See you tomorrow, y'all.